Welcome back.
Is
to
it
the
a,
podcast.
is it a welcome back though?
I mean, it could be a start over.
What's the name of this podcast again?
Just a tangent.
That okay? Yes.
Yeah.
Forgot the genius.
We're starting over.
Do
again.
you want to explain or do I? Want?
So,
It's a whole situation.
it's a whole thing.
Keep it short.
So, in a nutshell, my old laptop decided it was time to die.
Apparently,
And also decided maybe I'll take him with me.
take some of your shit with
Take
you.
me. It planned to take me out as well. The battery was expanding. According to the guy that was fixing it, it should have blown a long time. The battery should have exploded a long time ago, but it didn't. What instead happened was my hard drive and my motherboard said, "No, we like him. We'll kill ourselves
in order
to preserve my life."
To be fair, it's very kind of them to do that.
It is very kind of them to do, and I thank them for that. However,
Yes.
they took all of the footage that we had shot over the summer.
So that was what, a couple weeks worth?
I would say there was about 5 to 10 episodes.
Yeah. So basically, this is a hard reset. Hard reset. I'm talking like take the plug out of the console and leave it there for a second.
So should we?
No, we're not about to. No. Okay, I'll bring that up, but let me finish this off. So this is basically a hard reset. What would you consider this? Should we just start over again and make this episode 1?
I guess so.
And everything else was just epilogue? Not epilogue.
Epilogue, precursor.
Prologue. Epilogue is after the story.
I mean, part of me was also just like, you know what? We could just call this like just a tangent 2.0.
So yeah, this will be the first episode because he got bougie and got a MacBook Pro. So yeah,
Guilty.
this is probably the first episode. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of back lore that we could cover, but I'll start it off saying this. I know you did not just stuff that mushroom back into that burger. We're eating, by the way, if you couldn't tell, but you just stuffed that mushroom back into that burger. We're not going past this. What the hell was? Just eat the mushroom with what you just took the bite with. What was that?
No, because when I bit it, I got a lot more mushroom than burger.
Whose problem is that?
It's mine.
Who put mushrooms on the burger?
That's why I took it upon myself to fix
stuff
my
it
problem.
back into the burger.
I fixed my problem.
You fixed your... Ooh. That was just... Oh, my God. I'm done with this. Let's get into the topics. Let me pull up the list on my phone. We can start easy.
We're not starting easy.
We are
going to talk about...
Where do you want to start?
I feel like it is extremely important to talk about the justice system.
Oh, we're going here. That's where we're going. Okay.
That's where we're going.
Well, let's go.
And not to sound negative or anything, but the outcome in which we got with Breonna Taylor, I feel like, is to be expected.
Again, this is the first episode technically, so maybe people don't know, we are black. We're 2 black guys.
Okay.
So we both understand what's going on.
And the single reason I say this is, Tamir Rice, perfect example.
We ain't even got to go to Tamir Rice, bro.
I think we can. A 12-year-old kid playing in the park and toy gun, whatever, maybe.
Bro, remember what happened
gun.
when we were in middle school?
But they shoot him. Wait, what happened?
Old boy in Florida.
Trayvon?
Yeah.
That counts too, but...
That was way before Tamir Rice, so we should have been.
Oh, yeah, we should have been hot.
Exactly.
Before.
This was...
Wait, really? I thought...
No, that was after. Trayvon was the first,
okay.
big one that hit. Because it wasn't a cop. It was a civilian's arrest, which still doesn't make sense. It wasn't a cop. It was Trayvon, and then Tamir Rice came afterwards.
Okay.
I remember these traumatically as I can. Because I remember
I have it back.
Trayvon, because it was the first one, and I was on vacation when the results came out. I was talking with my dad about that a couple days ago. But it's one of those things where, what did I tell? Now, of course, this happened in the bygone eras, the other episodes that we lost. But what did I tell you about 2020? What did I tell you what was going to happen?
That we're on a downhill slope.
Downhill spiral.
Good
this
empire
comes
to a fall.
That's a bit defeatist of me. I think we're on the upswing later on.
Are we?
Not right now. But I told you this. This decade is about to be. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I told you this decade is going to be a decade.
You know what? I heard something very interesting.
About what? What is it all
about general society.
Go ahead.
Society keeps they keep advancing until they hit a roadblock, and that either destroys them, or they can take it in stride and it changes them a little bit.
Well, to be fair, there's been plenty of roadblocks in America, so I don't think this will break the country. As much as people want to say this looks like it's going to break the country, trust me, if it was going to break the country, this would not be dragging its feet as much as possible. For something to break the country, it would be happening quick, fast, and in a hurry. What I will say is this. Like I said, this decade right here, from 2020 to 2030, it's 2020 right now, I'll be, 32 in 2030?
Yep. About that.
This is about to be a decade where we're like, what is going on? I told you this earlier.
I feel like the year is like that.
No. This decade right here for us is going to be, if anything, comparable. Because I was trying to figure out, because I was talking to my dad about it, because he asked me about it. I was like, the only comparable thing I can think of is like because this is more a cultural shift of a lot of things. The only thing I could think of was maybe from the 60s to the 80s. That transition period, the 70s was smack dab in the middle. Vietnam was going on. Like that 20, 30-year difference, like the 60s to the 70s to the 80s. If you think about it, the 70s from the 80s then you have the 70s, then you got the 80s, then you got the 90s. All three of those generations are defined by something specific. Think about the fashion, think about the music, think about the culture within each of those decades. Each of those decades, for it's like those were very tumultuous times. And I don't think there's been a lot of tumultuous times for us. I'd say we had it easy from the 2000s to 2010. That's probably as peaceful as it got. Under Obama's era, it's probably as peaceful as it was, for the most part. There may have been stuff here and there, but as far as socially, it's not been this much social unrest for a minute.
Do you think we're gonna have war?
In here?
In this decade?
Are you talking about a civil war, or are you talking about
just a war?
Just a war in general?
Civil war, or
to be fair,
war with other powers.
To be fair, the wars are still going on. There's still war going on. We're still it's not like military action. It's just not as all out there. Like we're not against.
Are we in war?
We are not against a country. That is the thing. Our war isn't with a country. You're thinking of countries fighting each other. I don't think that's going to happen. What is happening is military, is small, the Caliphate and what are the terrorist groups' names? There's so many of them. There's Boko Haram. There's a bunch of small Taliban.
Wait a minute.
What's the new one?
You're asking the wrong person.
I don't know. I just know that it's mainly terrorist groups that we're fighting at this point. We're not fighting countries.
Do you think we will end up fighting a country in this decade? Because
the only country that's ever,
I think we're leaning towards that now. Especially
but what
after
country though?
Putin has Russia, right?
We're not fighting Russia.
No,
not outright.
Really?
No, that would never happen.
I think we would.
We're never going to fight the big military powers aren't going to fight each other because there's too much money to be lost.
I feel like we would.
Because I'll tell you what's going to happen.
Well, actually, I think it's more because I don't think we can sit here and kind of ignore the fact that Russia placed specific bounties on soldiers' heads.
You said bounties?
Bounties.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I don't think people. I know that. I don't think Americans care that much. I'll be completely honest with you. As much as people say nationalism, all that, I don't think we care that much.
I feel like if that's one thing, I think that's one thing we probably should care about.
We should, but we don't. Because for me, I don't care about people, what they talk about. You can yell at the moon all day. I look at what you do in response to that. In the response to some of this stuff is like, people just go about their daily lives, bro. Like, people don't really care as much as they think they do. But I will say this. None of the major powers are really going to want to go to war like that. I'll tell you why. Russia, they do their own stuff, but they ain't really like... They're more of trying to control power within it. Why would they want to go to war with us? That's taking resources from doing their stuff in their own lands. It's not worth it.
I guess that's what the bounties are for then.
Yeah, secondly, they don't... It doesn't make sense, because the amount of military backing that we can, if we were to go to war, there's not enough public support for a war to begin with for America. Like, there's no country that has done anything to us. That's the thing about America. If you do something to us, we're coming after you. Other than that, we just play proxy wars and just get money. That's all our stuff is, just shadow wars and all that. Other than that, then there's China. But to be fair, no one's really going to go to China. China has to break down itself in order for that to happen.
Okay.
Like, fighting China is not going to do anything. China has to destroy itself, which I'm surprised it has lasted this long. Because the history of China is they go the same route as a lot of countries. They build up, then they break. They build up, then they break again.
But they haven't broken yet?
It's been since it's been a while. Because as soon as the Communist Party of China started ruling, it basically like
broke.
No, they didn't break. It melded everything together. That's why they're so big. I think somewhere someone told me that China's supposed to be like a bunch of different countries. As big as China is, it's not supposed to be that big for it to be one country.
Oh, that's why they had provinces and everything, I think.
Yeah, that's why they have the problems that they do. The infrastructure needs to be vast.
Oh, no, provinces.
No, I'm saying, because it's so big, their infrastructure has to be streamlined.
But it's not.
It is, but it's not. It is and isn't. Depending on where you live, I would assume.
Okay.
But I will say this.
I still think it's Civil War zone. I think we'll have a Civil War. Given the news.
Nah, it's not enough hatred. It's not enough hatred.
Really? Mm-hmm. Not enough hatred?
Nah, it's just, we're minorities, bro. If every white person wanted to get us, we would be out of here. There's not enough hatred amongst, like, the hate we get for us to die is a minority within the white community. They're not like, if a vast majority of white people wanted to kill us, we would be dead.
Okay.
Like, it's little outcrops here and there. There's levels to racism. There's the killing us, then there's like, we don't want you to live here. Then under that, there's...
We don't mess with you, pretty much.
It's not... It's kill, we don't want you to live here. A little uncomfortable, but we'll be friends with you. Just don't marry our daughters. Then there's the gray area where it's like... It's behavior learned. Where it's like, you assume you're being cool to a minority, but the behavior you've learned is actually very offensive. Then under that is, but there's that, and underneath that is where I can hang out with people. Once you get above that, where you're like, I'll be friends with you, but you can't marry into my family, that's my limit. And after that, then I'm just like, it's going to be what it's going to be. But that right there, I think the marriage one is...
Wait, is that of like the parents or
the parents?
Okay.
That and below, I think, is majority of white people. That's as high as you get from majority of white people. Above that, then you get into minority of white people, where it's like rural areas or stuff like that. So that's where you get most. not all white people really like. It's just what it is. I don't know what to tell you. We're minorities, bro. Like if you think about black people, Asians, Latinos, Afro Latinos, there's not a lot of us. There's not a lot of us, even if you put all of us together. So I don't think it's going to be civil war.
Civil unrest. Well, actually, wait.
It may come to.
I think there might be we might come to blows. I think we'll come to blows.
Think about this. What is a civil war? There has to be two armies. There's not going to be armies. It's going to be small outcrops of little groups that will pop up and probably do some dumb shit. That's as far as I think it's going to go. There's not going to be like two armies that are going to. Because what we're going to fight over?
I classified that as a little bit of a civil war.
It's not a civil.
Well, okay. So, all right. So let's take what was said in the news recently by a store. So, the current president.
It's not going to happen.
The current president pretty much said, "Hey, if I lose this election, I'm not leaving peacefully."
It's not going to happen under him. I highly doubt it.
Really?
It's too easy.
What is?
This stuff is boiling to the top right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're in power.
Yep.
They don't need to do anything. It's when someone else comes into power that's against them, that's when they attack. Not when they're in power.
So while they're messing stuff up, the moment somebody new comes in, they just...
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Follow my logic. Because if you're the leader, because that doesn't help them. They can't be the victim.
They can't.
Because if they're on top and then some of their people start attacking, then there's no mix. You have the power. But let's say you lose the power. Then you can play the victimhood and then you can get sympathy for even if you do horrible things, you still get sympathy.
Now, wait a minute.
Not sympathy, but people will want to understand why you did it. And that is still some sympathy.
I don't think that's sympathy.
Empathy. There it is.
Empathy?
That's empathy. You'll still get empathy. You won't get sympathy. You'll get empathy. We will.
Will you? I think it varies to a degree.
Here's the thing. Unfortunately, people don't know how to debate on a large scale. You can't debate on a large scale. There's too many variables. So what happens is,
I'll take that.
Yeah, you can't vast on it because it becomes giant high school at that point. That's what I've decided America is starting to become. It's giant high school. Once you get into a shouting match, then people are like, ooh, you know what I mean? That is what this is going to turn into. Mark my words. This is what this country is starting to turn into.
Just a shouting match?
Just a shouting match of a bunch of high schoolers. The same way you would see people roasting each other is the same way it always plays out whenever there's live debates. You cannot debate serious issues in front of an audience.
I think you can.
You can't.
I don't think you can.
Not when it's
ignorance.
Not when it is two different people from two different parties and you got the crowd that's split down the middle. Moderates are not respected in this country, my friend. They never have been and they never will be. If you're a moderate, you're seen as sitting on the fence. You cannot give credence to both sides. You have to be on one side or you're on the other.
Okay.
That's how America is. You're either with us or you're against us. That's the mindset that's been ingrained in us since we were young.
Yep.
It just is what it is in this country. You cannot have a civil discourse. As much as people want that, you can't have a civil discourse. Calmly. Can you have a civil discourse with someone you vehemently disagree with? Not a lot of people can do it.
I think I could. But
the thing is, I already know how you would do it because we are the same person.
Oh, what I do?
I know how you would do it.
What would I do?
You wouldn't be angry. It would either be you would be very sarcastic, or you would be passive aggressive.
Yeah, you got me pegged.
We're the same person. I know how. Because I think the same way.
Because
you have to use that. The energy of anger has to be put somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be turned into love. That's for damn sure not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not.
So you can either make it a joke, be passive aggressive, or be sarcastic. Those are your options.
Yeah.
But do you know what happens? That is on large scale. I can have a conversation with someone one-on-one and we can have a civil discussion. That would never happen because it's backdoor. No one likes conversations that are backdoor about serious topics and you have power on the line. We want to see you two discuss this in front of us. Well, here's the issue. What do you do when you're in front of an audience and you're trying to get their vote? You got to play it up.
You cater to the audience.
You got to cater
to the votes. Yeah.
As much as people say they don't like pandering, yes, you do.
That's all. That's pandering is.
Everyone likes pandering. If someone says they don't want you to pander, that's a damn lie. Because you want your issue to be heard, yes or no? Well, how do you get your issue to be heard? You got to get pandered to.
That's true.
So for me, at least, all I've ever said if anyone's ever curious about my politics, all I've ever said is most economic situations, I tend to lean conservative because conservatives don't like big government to be in on their shit and they want less taxes. I can agree with that. What I don't agree with is conservatives when it comes to social issues. See what I'm saying? Social issues and economic issues can be one and the same, but different depending on case-by-case basis. So for me, I've always said this. What I want to see, just bring back a bunch of the middle class and we wouldn't have some of these issues. The reason a lot of people have time now is because they hate their jobs or they don't have enough money. Well, how do you get back enough money? Bring back the fucking jobs. If you get a big middle class, the gap of money, because here's what's happening.
We're running on trickle down politics. That's the essential. That's an essential issue because that's not how.
There's the high class, middle, and low.
Yeah.
The middle used to be very large, so there's not much. You can get middle class and go up, so you can get to the upper middle class and middle class and lower middle class. Now it's just middle class, low, upper, and even the middle class is losing their money too. So now the gap wage is starting to get bigger. All I've said, and I've thought about this to myself, bring back some jobs. That's necessary. I'm willing to pay the premium, and that's the thing. I'm willing. If you tell people we are going to bring back American jobs to build back the middle class, but this, and this is going to get more costly. Are you willing to do it? I think majority of America be like, if you bring back jobs, we'll pay that price.
No, they won't.
I think they will.
I don't think we will.
I think they will.
Now
I guess it depends on the jobs.
I think we're a stubborn people. I don't think we will.
I have faith, and once they hear the money coming in, I think that's different.
Greed does speak.
I think that's it. If you start talking about jobs, I think that's going to get people's attention.
But I think that would only apply to those that are looking for jobs.
Bro. Yeah, that's everybody, bro.
Looking?
Yeah, everybody wants a better job, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if you don't like your job, you like the money.
Yeah.
So if you say you're getting more middle class jobs, well, a lot of ex-middle class or lower middle class people we're gonna get more jobs that are better, that we can get. Yeah, just bring back more middle class jobs. Bring back a lot of the jobs.
Wait, what's a middle class job?
I think
what was that classified as?
I don't know about right now, but I think older it was I think the biggest thing I can think of was when a lot of the car places went and left.
So factory workers?
Yeah, manufacturing. Manufacturing was a big thing. Was a majority of the middle class, I would think so, in the 90s and 80s. Once manufacturing jobs left, there's a lot of people out of work. You know the whole thing people say America doesn't make anything? Where did that go? It went overseas because for cheaper labor. So I would say this. If you can somehow bring back those jobs and just tell people that stuff is going to be paid at a premium, I think most people would be like, I'll pay that.
So what, open up more factories in America?
Bring back those jobs and we'll see how it works out. Because giving them to somewhere else is not really helping us. It's not cycling any of our money back. We're just sending that stuff out.
Okay.
And even if we are sending that stuff out, the people that are giving those jobs away aren't exactly putting that stuff back into the economy like they should. So it doesn't really matter. Bring back the jobs, and if the companies don't like it, then basically bully them. That's what I would do. Bully them. You're going to get a lot more respect doing that. If you go against, because America already, we don't like authoritarian type things anyways. So if you position yourself as a government that does not like big business when it's not profitable for the people, think about that statement right there. That right there will get you votes.
No, that's commendable. But how many actually?
That's the thing.
Go for that.
See, the thing is, I've told you this. I am a master of manipulation. It seems so easy to me. It's so easy. I can still keep my money and just be, and people will still like me. What did I just say? A government that is for the people, that is against big business. If you claim to be an American company and you do not have a majority of your jobs in America, you must leave this country. Just quick, fast, and in a hurry. If the majority of your workforce is not born in America and does not live in America.
Wait a minute.
I'm telling you, this would give
Hold
people.
on.
You see where I'm going? It's a master of manipulation.
Wait a minute.
So easy, but people don't listen to me. People would never listen to me. I'm giving you the blueprint to this country on a silver platter. It's very easy.
Okay.
You don't have to. Here's the thing. You don't act like you're for the people. You do specific things that help people. You take big steps. Think about it this way. If for you to be a good person, you have to take 10 steps. I'm going to take 5. They're going to be big steps, so it looks like I'm taking 10. But I'm not taking that many steps. I just need to get to a certain place. I'm taking leaps. I'm not taking boom, 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 boom. I'm taking boom, boom. So it's like, it's a couple years, big thing here. Okay, I'm starting to lose people. Boom, another. It's not that difficult. People just want money.
They just need to follow through.
People just want money, bro.
Okay.
Look at what happened. $1,200. People are like, I'll take that. Come here with that.
I never got mine.
That sucks for you. I got mine. Well, did you do your taxes?
I did.
Did you want the check?
I know the reason.
What was it?
So, I do my own taxes, but apparently I'm still at the same time also being claimed. So
by your parents?
Yeah. So therefore I don't get it. Because here's what they did. They took it from the year beforehand. So like now I'm not claimed by them.
Okay.
But the year before I was.
Because I did mine. Because I wasn't claimed by anybody. So
yeah.
I did mine auto, bro. That was seeing $1,200 get deposited. Auto deposit is a beautiful thing, and you get the email. Oh, that's a beautiful feeling.
I'll never know the feeling.
I should have screenshotted that.
I'll never know.
That was fantastic.
What a shame.
It's funny how people say they don't care about what is it? It's welfare and all that till they need it.
Yeah. Because it doesn't apply to them. If it doesn't, and I kind of follow that mindset a little bit. If it doesn't apply to me, it does depend. Like can I say that? At a certain place.
Do we need to clap it?
Maybe. At a certain place, if I only follow the outline of what I need to do, anything beyond that is not my business, concern, nor care.
Yeah. If it's not out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting 10 years. That's all I'm going to tell you, bro. From 2020 to 2030, it's going to be interesting. And I can tell you what I'll be doing. Minding my business.
Ooh, what do you think is going to happen with the virus? Because
a vaccine is going to come out next year.
Are you going to take the vaccine as soon as it comes out, or are you going to wait?
I'm going to wait.
Going to wait? Tuskegee. I
don't think they're going to do a Tuskegee experiment en masse. That was very particular.
Well, apparently that was also illegal. So
no shit.
They made laws, I think, after that occurred, so they can't do that again.
No shit, it was illegal. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to do that en masse. Will there be side effects? I'm sure.
I mean,
there's side effects with everything.
I'm pretty sure in the beginning they were paying people for human testing.
Yeah. There is that thing where people that's a hustle as well, where you test, you get money for being tested on and do.
No, that's sketchy. Mm-mm.
I don't know if I'd do that, bro.
Because I think there's a whole survivability thing that also outlines that. So if you die, what happens?
It depends on what it is, though.
Really? You know what? I could test products, food.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Baby
movies.
Clothes, yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I could. Actually, no. What did you just say? Did you say no?
I was trying to hold.
I caught it, but I ignored it for a brief moment, and then I went back to it. I was like, wait a minute.
I didn't know if anyone had heard that. But I slipped that in hoping he didn't see. You don't even hear what I said.
I heard.
What I said.
You said baby clothes. I know exactly what you said.
Ooh.
Oh, the jab.
I should have said middle school clothes. It was better. But baby clothes always sounds good for people that are short. Oh, what? It's funny. Once you go under 6 foot, you are your height is questioned by everybody.
I don't understand why. And
even by short people.
Don't care.
Hilarious.
I don't get why.
If you're not 6 foot and above, bro, your height is in question your whole life. Even by short people, like, nah, bro, you 5'7". What are you talking about? You 5'2". How you gonna tell me my height? You could be 5'9". Motherfuckers say, no, you 5'5". Bro, you were 5 foot. What are you talking about? Yeah. It is hilarious. But I'm 6'2", so I have none of these issues. None.
Yeah.
None. I feel bad for you, though.
Yeah?
I mean, no. You can get a tall girl. Tall girls like short guys. Because tall guys don't like short guys. That is so weird. Tall guys don't really get with tall girls, so you see tall girls get with short guys. And
some do.
I'm not opposed to it. I don't see the problem. To me, I'd rather have a woman that can look me eye to eye, but that's my personal issues.
Yeah.
You get with a 7 foot woman, I'm gonna die.
7 foot?
I would be out.
I think there would be there's a massive health problem if that's the case. 7 foot?
Actually, no. If you get with a woman my height, I'm gonna be out. I can tell you that right now. If she's my height or above, I'm gonna be like, wow, that is hilarious.
Yeah,
And let's move on to some topics we got here. What do you want to start with? Because we were just in something serious. Let's try and lighten it up a little bit.
You want to lighten it up? All right.
Do we have topics that we can lighten up with?
I mean, you have... Yeah, we do.
What we got here?
There's the Moss, and then we could talk about the Bethesda.
Let's go with that. Because that's a real quick one. This doesn't really do much for me, to be fair. So, basically, a couple days ago, Microsoft bought Bethesda for, I think, 600 mil, something like that.
Pretty good money, yeah.
Pretty decent money. And
I make Fallout, right?
Yeah, and a lot of other games, and they bought one of the studio with them.
Yeah, I really should.
I don't care.
Private. Out the gate. I mean, I don't care either, but
I've saw some people that are like, I watched one YouTube about it, and he was like,
But does it matter anyway? Because does Bethesda makes Fallout? Isn't Fallout pretty much a Xbox exclusive game anyway?
I guess
so. Does that? I don't think that.
I think it's more for the studio, for the gaming purposes. But the thing is with me, and I saw one video on it from one YouTuber, and he was like, whoever wins this next gaming cycle for consoles is probably going to stay on top forever.
Really?
And his case was the same thing with Netflix. Like, they're still at the top, even though you have a Disney out here. Like, they're still the top streaming service. And I'm like,
okay.
I don't really...
Wait.
I don't
Why,
know.
though?
I don't know. I think it's for, like, the streaming purposes of the Xbox, because they were trying to do, when Mixer was still around, they were trying to do that. So they were trying to basically have a vertical monopoly on certain things in the gaming industry to make it more streamlined and more convenient. Me personally, I just don't care. Like, I like my PlayStation. I grew up playing a PlayStation. I'm gonna buy a PlayStation.
I had both, so I can't argue with either or. I will do both.
Like, I have no reason to like games on Xbox I've ever liked when they're exclusive. There's not been any Xbox exclusives that I've been like, oh yeah. I've seen plenty of PlayStation exclusives that I'm like, yeah, I'll play that.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Besides, I'll get a PC eventually, so it doesn't really matter. Get a PlayStation, get a PC tower, and I'm done. I'm not buying an Xbox for what. Plus, there's too much going on over there. Xbox. They got the Xbox One, then they got the Xbox Series, then they got the S. It's like, come on, bro. And then the jokes came out about, like, I loved it when the Xbox showed their new stuff out. Did you see the new Xbox console? How
Didn't
it
it
looks?
look like a mini fridge?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then people want to turn around and talk about the PS4 looks ugly.
Wait, what's I don't think it does.
The PS5, my bad. The PS5 looks ugly. Really? Really? You're going to side with Xbox on this, but the PS5 is doing... At least the PS5 it actually looks interesting. The new Xbox looks like a goddamn brick. I'm like, what's going on? You look up the PS5, I'll look up the Xbox.
Yeah, wait, people think this looks terrible?
Some people thought it looked like a PC tower or something to that effect.
I mean...
It does.
It does, but...
It looks good, though.
Actually, this looks... It looks pretty nice. You know what? I think what it is they weren't I know what it is. Yeah, right here. I know what they... You know what it was that they weren't expecting?
What?
They changed... The color schemes changed.
Yeah, I did see a lot of people saying they don't want it white.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, are you going to buy it or not?
I'm
Is the color really... That's my
color
thing.
an issue?
That's my thing about it. Are you going to buy this, yes or no? Does the color really... Do you really care that much about the color?
No.
No one... That's what... I can't tell you how much that pissed me off when I heard people talking about that.
The color?
Yes.
I think
pissed... I don't know why it pissed me off so much, but it was like, what the hell? Then don't buy it then if you don't like the color then.
So... I think it's
that
about
I get so heated about something so insignificant. Are you buying the thing for the color or the goddamn technology within?
Some people,
what are you doing?
Some people like things to be aesthetically pleasing.
You aren't gonna clean it anyways. It doesn't fucking matter.
Doesn't matter. You're right, but people like the aesthetics. Maybe for those like a large group of individuals, whatever their setup is, it clashes with the color of their setup.
Don't act like you are some person. No. I'm pushing back on that. That's dumb. Don't give me that bull. Don't give me that bull like I'm here for the aesthetic purposes. Shut the fuck up. If I walk in your room right now where your PS4 is right now, is it going to be aesthetically pleasing? The PS4 is all black.
Yeah.
Nothing about this is aesthetics. So don't come to me talking about you want aesthetics.
I didn't say that I wanted aesthetics.
God, that pissed me off. I'm not yelling at you. I just need to get because it pissed me off so much. Because you know how I am. Yeah. I'm an extreme person. Then don't buy it. If you don't like the color, then don't buy it. I don't want to buy it. Shut up. Are you gonna buy it or not? That's how I am. I don't like complaining when it's not necessary. Because to me, it's like, I don't care about the color. That's not what I'm buying this for.
I'll humor it sometimes.
I won't.
I
don't
will.
give me this.
Sometimes, and this is hilarious. This is somewhat backwards of me, maybe. Sometimes I'll hear something that I don't agree with at all. But for the sake of purposes, I want to understand how your mind is working with this. I want to see where you're going.
Not when you're saying, I don't like the colors, then don't buy it.
Sometimes I will I will purposefully answer with complete ignorance.
It is complete weird to me. Like, little things like this piss me off, but very serious topics don't really. That's the weird thing about me.
I think serious topics, there's always, like, some ground for reasoning of why something is the way it is.
Well, I don't like the way it looks, then don't buy it. Don't buy it. Yeah. Don't complain to me. Are you going to buy it or not? That is my question. Are you going to buy the PS5, yes or no? Yes, then shut the fuck up. Because the thing is, behind that, it's like, bro, do you know how... The work behind... Like, they can't change it.
No.
They can't change it.
Maybe they could. I don't think they're going to. No. They
Don't piss me off. They can change it now. What are you talking about?
After they were... Okay.
Because they have to design. Okay. They have to do all this, that, and the third. By the time they show you, it's over. You can't do anything about it.
I'll take that.
So it's I don't know what it is, but...
But speaking about complaining, so about these algorithms you've been talking about.
Oh, I have no issue with algorithms. The algorithms for me is you got to learn how to work the algorithm. We said this before. You got to work the algorithm.
Yeah, I don't work the algorithm.
I work the algorithm. If I don't want to see some shit, I'm not going to watch it. I don't care. I don't care. I have my opinions already. I'm a very moderate person. If you're talking sense, other than that, I don't care. Because most of the time, it's just talking. a whole lot of talking. I don't see any action being taken. I don't care. It's a very quick and answer. Just you got to work the algorithm. If you like something, you like it. I don't like the idea. I don't like when people say, the talk of bubbles and all that. And there's also a new
Bubbles?
Yeah, people like you have your own bubble with people like-minded like you. So
Okay. Okay.
So do you. Everyone has their bubble. You're not going to just talk to someone random that you don't know like that about something serious. Like, it's not realistic. I think the old saying is people weren't made to talk to this many people en masse. Yeah. Like, we're supposed to be in small communities and we can venture out, but we got to come back. That's a bubble. Think of what a tribe is to people. A tribe is a bubble of a group. It may be big, but it's still a bubble of a certain pocket. It's not a couple million people.
I think the cap is at like maybe 1,000.
Yeah, that's a bubble of people. That's not a couple mil of people. And that's just us. We're double digits in millions of people. Or if not, I don't know. People don't want to talk to a bunch of people. Okay, we're black. I have no issue with anybody, but I want to see black people, and I would prefer to consume black content. Is that wrong of me?
No.
If majority of the content and people I talk to are black, is that wrong of me? The same way, the problem...
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, the problem comes about when interacting with another group of people, you become...
Jaded?
Not jaded. Not disrespectful. You allow your ignorance of them to take over. Like, you're ignorant of the people, so you just judge by your worldview instead of actually listening to the people that you're talking to.
Okay.
For example.
I'm following. Wait, do we need to clap that?
Kentucky's the big state.
All right.
And I said I'm from.
Okay.
Not I'm in.
Okay.
I'm from Kentucky.
All right.
From all my life, I've interacted with people from Kentucky or from Tennessee or from Ohio. I can understand the general states around me, similar vibes. I can understand people. If you take me and drop me into California,
you'd be confused. Yeah.
So you have to, and I can't come leaning in with my sensibilities from Kentucky, coming here. The same way, if you're from America, you can't go to another country and trying to lean into America. Well, you're not in America. You got to learn our ways. You're with us now. Learn our ways. People don't like to learn new things. You understand what I'm saying? That's your ignorance speaking. You have to be able to learn. If someone's different from you, you don't lean with, do what I say. That's not how I do it. If someone's different from me, I'm curious about, okay, well, so how would you do it?
You pick them a bit.
Yes. What was my original point? Oh, the bubbles. That's the thing. No one wants to be, that's the difference. It's disrespectful when you hop from your bubble to another bubble, and then you try and be that guy like, okay, I'm taking over now. That's where the problem lies. If you come wanting to understand, it's better. You can still be in a bubble, but once you venture out, as long as you're willing to learn, no one's going to fight with you. It's once you start preaching to people is when people start calling you an asshole.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it took a little bit for me to figure out the right way to phrase it.
Where you were trying to go with that, yeah.
I had to ramble a little bit in order to figure. That's how I get it. I shoot from the hip, always shoot from the hip. I'm Red Dead 2 out here. I shoot from the hip. I give me some time. I'll figure it out. But just don't be an asshole. It's basically
don't be an asshole.
Just don't be a jerk. If you're in a new place, figure out what's going on. Ask some questions. How do y'all do things around here? What you're not gonna do is try and make an omelet by just you can't make an omelet
without cracking eggs.
You can't make an omelet using pancake batter.
Okay.
You ain't got the right ingredients.
Right. All right.
Not the right ingredients. You did not look at
that whole example right there.
It's stupid. It makes sense, but it's stupid.
It truly was.
It's stupid.
Oh god.
It doesn't make sense, but makes sense at the same time. And that's all you need to know and understand about me. I don't make sense, but I make some sense.
Okay.
Next topic at hand, because there's other stuff. I just saw the Bethesda one. I forgot what else is there. Let's do one from yours.
From mine? Ooh.
Are yours the serious ones? I can't remember.
I think they kind of are. I don't know why I said. Oh, okay. Do you want this serious one?
Which one?
I'll go with how do you see yourself? Like if you were to sit down.
That's not serious.
I think that it. I think it is.
Well, I'm a narcissist, so it's not serious for me.
Okay.
I think I'm better than all y'all. It's very simple.
Really?
Smarter than everybody.
Really?
More beautiful than everybody.
So if you gave that a
best fashion sense.
If you gave that a physical form, what would that be? Just you?
Bro, me.
Really?
What you talking about?
Really?
And I'll tell you why it's like that. Because
I cannot fathom
when
this.
I was in middle school, I was very down on myself. I didn't like myself that much. I was very But then I got tired of it. I think around sophomore year, I was like, you know what? Of high school. I was like, you know what? I've been doing this since 7th grade.
It's a year before we met.
Yeah, I'm tired of this bullshit. I want to be happy. Because I was always very melancholy and never really up, never really down. I'm still like that, but it's in a more positive light. It's more of a half glass full than a half glass empty situation. Okay. So, sophomore year, towards the end, I think mid or towards the end, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Right now, I'm in a funk. So I was like, okay, I need to counteract. I got to go from 0 to 100, and I have to be at 100 in order to counteract. I want to be at 50, basically. I'm at 0 right now. I have to go to 100 in order to counteract, so I'm at 50.
You gotta stop hitting this table.
My bad. I gotta go to 100 so I can get to 50, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
So I basically was like, you know what? I'm gonna be so on myself, so up on myself, so narcissistic about myself for a couple months. This is all internal. This isn't external. I wasn't even a jerk. This is all internal.
Okay.
So I did that for a couple months, and then I found the balance. So now I'm like, I don't care. I'm me, bro.
Okay.
The only thing I can say that I still had a issue with, and this is just me being 100%, was the whole size issue when it comes to guys. That was the only thing that was the last insecurity that I had.
Really?
Yeah. I never had an insecurity about how I looked. Didn't have insecurities about my weight, my personality. I didn't really care what people thought. So all the insecurities that normal people have, I didn't have those because I didn't care that much. The only insecurity I had was the size of the Peter. The King Richard, as they say. I'm not going to...
yeah, I got it.
That was it.
I got it.
But I got over that at 18, 19 years old. I was like, bro, I was born this way.
That's a pretty good year to get your mindset.
Yeah, so I was like, bro, I don't care anymore. I'm free. Like, do I still have any insecurities?
Probably.
Nah.
No?
There's stuff I want to improve, but there's not any insecurities.
Okay.
Like I don't.
Wait, what's the difference? To you, in your definition?
In my definition, insecurities is something that makes you sad.
Really?
When you think of something on your body or think of something about you, and it just ruins your mood.
Okay.
Nothing about that. Now, is there stuff that I'm like, yeah, I can improve on this? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's nothing like, I don't really get sad about anything about me. I'm just like, yeah, like look at my weight. I'm a bit overweight. I can be honest about that. I can lose some weight. I'm not sad about it. Just kind of like, it's going to happen eventually. Just not right now. I'm not going to get mad over something that I can change or something that I can't change.
Okay.
If I can change it, I'll change it eventually. Give me time. If I can't change it, I'm not going to get mad over it. Like, this is my face. I'm not going to do plastic surgery. Why would I do that?
Okay.
Give me some time.
Completely different than mine.
Oh, really?
God damn.
What is yours then?
Bro.
Well, you're short, so already you were born.
That's not even.
You're not even that short though. You're probably what, 5'8"?
What?
How tall are you? How tall are you?
Oh my god, you added
up or down?
Down.
5'7".
Down.
6.
Down.
3.
Maybe
5'5"?
I think I've been growing.
So let's say 5'5", 5'6".
Last time I checked, I was like 5'3", 5'4".
You can't be 5'3".
Yeah.
You got to be like 5'5".
No, I don't think I am.
Let's say 5'5".
All right.
Because I like even.
I'll take it. Even?
Yeah, 5'5".
That's not even.
Yes, it is.
5'5". There's
not
a 2 on.
Not even as in numerically,
okay.
But from an aesthetics point of view, there's a 5 and a 5. That looks good.
Okay, fine. All right.
It's like 55 or 33.
I'll give you that.
Like the same number besides it. But yeah, you're already short, so you already got to hear the jokes about being short.
Yeah.
What else is there? I can't think of anything else that I can think of. Because I'm not in your mind.
In insecurities?
Yeah.
Or...
Because you asked how you see yourself.
So, wasn't really like kind of meant that like that, but also not. I don't see myself as good at all.
Good in what way? Good in what way?
I feel like I am a complete and utter monster.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about how you see, how you know how you are. Like, if you had ultimate power, you know what would happen.
Even without ultimate power, I still think, even like just as I am now,
you think of yourself, you're not a very good person.
Yeah, I don't think.
Bit of a jerk.
I don't think the best of myself at all.
I have a different. See, I have the same thing, but I'm different. What did I say earlier? I am a master manipulator. I know how I am. So here's what I do. I know that I have bad tendencies, but my tendencies are only a method. As long as I use that method for good, it doesn't matter.
And that's where my gray area lines, because...
What is good?
Exactly. What is good? Because in my head, at least, there is no such thing as a good. There's no such thing as good. Good is subjective. You can call something good, and then somebody else can turn around, look at that, and say, no, that's bad. That's evil.
Yes. Yes and no.
Really?
I'll say this. It's all up to, again, it is perspective, but why do you care about another person's perspective to that degree that it affects how your morals change?
I have no idea.
That's the issue.
But it definitely is something that also...
Why? That's the question I would have. Why are you allowing someone else to dictate your morals? Because that's what it looks like.
I sometimes allow others to dictate my morals, but I think I have a general outtake on like my own morals, but I think it's more of like it depends on if that person is going to end up physically involved. I think
what happened here,
or mentally involved,
if I had to guess, was I do the same thing. It's good to question your morals, but I think what happened with you is your questioning of your morals. You needed a second opinion, and that's where you fucked up.
Yeah.
You fucked up by getting a second opinion. It's good to question your morals, but you have to do it. I wouldn't say involve another person. You have to use it in a scientific way. Is how I did mine. Which, like, how I set up my morals is okay, because this is how I got out of Christianity and all that. I looked at it like, okay, these morals right here, are these helping? Because let's say Christianity don't like gay people. I went with there. So
okay.
I looked at it. Do these people hurt anybody en masse? Like really actually hurt anybody? No. Okay. Is what I'm believing sending love or hate? Sending hate. Okay. Is it changing anybody's lives for the better? No. All it is causing confusion and it's sending out hatred. Well, stop believing in it. And that domino effect led me to stop being in Christianity. Because it was, for me, I started to see that Christianity for me never felt good. Because there's a lot of love there, but it wasn't love en masse. It was love individually where I live. But anytime I would go outside of my community, the same religion that I worship was being used to oppress. And as someone that is from a oppressed community, I don't like that. Mm. So you have to start asking questions, okay? Like again, scientific method. Is it hurting people? Yes. Is this way of thinking sending out love? No. Is this hurting someone else? Yes. Is the people that it is hurting, are they bad people? No. Because you know why? I grew up with gay people around me. I grew up with bi people around me. These were my friends. These, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta look at that. You gotta have a checklist. Is it doing good? So after that, I was like, you know what? I don't think this is for me. I don't think it's for me. I never really felt connected. So when it comes to morals, you cannot get a second. You can't ask another person because they have their own set
of morals
that you may not agree with.
That is true.
So you gotta take it from. You can't be emotional about morals sometimes. Sometimes you got to be very cold and scientific about it. At least that works for me. So I don't know how it works for you. You can try it and see if it works. But for me, sometimes you got to be cold and calculated. Like, is this helping?
Generally how I can be, though.
Well, like, how did you get here then?
I grew a heart. That's what happened.
Well, growing a heart doesn't mean you ask for a second opinion, though.
No. I would say I think there's a good majority of my life where nothing fazed me. It would not matter.
I think I was the same way. I just got tired of it.
Nothing phases me.
I was a bit of a nihilist in middle school.
And then I guess I don't know if it was a series of events or maybe it was just me growing up and gaining more of, I guess, a mindset. Mm-hmm. But I came to, like, just kind of thinking and humoring many different ideas as opposed to just sticking with one.
As you should. That's called progression. Most people don't ever find that.
Progression?
Yes. Think about it. You actually sought out different ways of thinking. Most people don't really care.
Yeah. Well, I will say, if the whole media arts thing does fall through, psychology probably sounds like an even funner thing.
You being a therapist would be hilarious.
I don't think I could be a therapist, though.
You would be hilarious.
Because I know the majority of the papers that I have had to, like, write, where I could generally choose the topics, they've all been psychological papers. Based heavily on psychology. I think even there are some, like, arguments I'll get into are that interest me are psychological. Like, we had a little, I wouldn't say an argument, but we had this big debate. Because he said everything is brainwashing. Oh yeah, I gotta class his name. Yeah.
Everything is brainwashing.
Everything is brainwashing. And so
what does that mean?
That means every action, everything that you perform, that is through brainwashing. And I was like, no, wait a minute. That's not how that works. That's development.
You have to learn something from. So me learning.
Would that be brainwashing, though?
So me learning 2 + 2 = 4 is brainwashing.
I think basic, like, habits.
So anything you learn is brainwashing.
Habits.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Like how you maybe mentally develop. Okay.
Let me give an olive branch to that ideal. So let's say I can see certain things being brainwashing.
Grooming is brainwashing. I'll
Hold on, what?
Yeah.
Explain.
Grooming?
The ideals of grooming or how you groom?
When you groom someone.
Oh, I thought you were talking about,
No, yeah.
Grooming,
predatory grooming.
Yeah. Okay, I totally agree with that.
That is brainwashing.
I agree with that totally.
But
what was his argument then?
I think it was more of like, I'm going to be I might be wrong on this. I'd have to ask him again. But say you're growing up and you're learning, like, the differences between right and wrong, morally. That would be considered brainwashing.
I don't think that's how brainwashing goes. You're just learning. Like, I can see how he got there.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of a stretch, because then you could expand upon that and say just any and everything is brainwashing, which brainwashing I don't think is that like, learning isn't brainwashing. Like, then you could say that there's a granted now, okay, there's a lot of, I think
there's a gray area.
He's picking up, he's touching on multiple things, but just melding all of it together and saying, and that's brainwashing. You can't label a bunch of different things. For example, how we are taught history in our school system is not brainwashing technically.
Yeah, that's
just erasing history.
I wouldn't call that erasing.
It's not.
It's not manipulating history.
Exactly. It's not brainwashing.
It's not brainwashing.
Because brainwashing is like you're taking this person.
The line.
You're taking this person and just overriding.
Yeah.
We are learning something. You can't override when we're starting to learn off something.
Yeah.
Like, anytime brainwashing is brought up, you take someone from somewhere and you basically force feed them something. So they already learned something somewhere else.
No, wait.
And then they came to you.
Wait a minute.
I
don't think that's how that works.
Brainwashing?
No. Well, what you just said, I don't think that works. I don't think that.
But that's how brainwashing has always been interpreted as. Like,
that it has been.
I'm only going off of like the mass media aspect.
Brain wiped.
Then there's
mentally
but the same thing.
Reconditioned. Yeah.
Like, brainwashing is the same as gaslighting to me.
Really?
In the sense of, you're telling someone like, if I say 2 + 2 is 4, and someone tells me no, it's 5. That's gaslighting. Brainwashing is when you eventually get them to agree with you that it's 5. That's
the process
in which you manipulate their perception is brainwashing.
Okay, so like, if you said 2 + 2 is 4, and I'd go, according to this version of math,
you eventually get me to say
2 + 2.
You get me to say it's 5, and you also agree to me to believe it's 5.
Okay.
It's the manipulation of how they perceive the world, from how they originally thought to what you want them to think. That's what brainwashing is to me. You just learning something isn't brainwashing.
Hot take. So, how do I want to phrase this? So say you're a child, and you were raised in such a way to believe that, I'm gonna bring. There was this Toy Box Killer, the Toy Box Killer, a serial killer. Okay, so I just learned about this recently, but he had a daughter, and what he would do is he raised his daughter to pretty much think it's okay to kidnap younger women, bring them to her father for him to torture, rape.
That's not brainwashing.
That's not brainwashing?
No.
What is that?
Because he raised her like that.
Okay.
Because if we're gonna do that, then we could do a lot of things like. Because then we could.
Or a child soldier. Would that be brainwashing?
I can't say it's brainwashing. If they're raised like that, I can't say it's brainwashing.
Okay.
I understand that people want to say it's brainwashing just because from our perspective, but if you are raised, for example, let's go back in history, because there's a lot of things, like, if that's the case, then we got to go back in history and start asking questions.
Okay.
So, let's say you're from a neighboring country.
All right.
And my country and your country don't like each other whatsoever.
Yeah.
Is it brainwashing for my parents? Let's say my father died in the war between you and my mother holds that grudge. Yeah. And then I was born. She was pregnant with me. I was born. And she raises me to hate you. Is that brainwashing?
No.
That's not brainwashing.
Right.
That is me being raised.
That's you being raised.
Raised with hatred. But it's not brainwashing. Brainwashing
and conditioning are two different things.
Very different things.
So
I see what he was trying to say.
Conditioned to hate me.
Yeah, I can see where he was going, but that's such a that's just such a blanket statement, in such a gray world that we live in that it just falls apart once you start asking a couple questions. So I see what he was trying to say, but you got to understand that learning something and being brainwashed is two very different things. So, what was our original topic?
How do we see ourselves? I don't know how we got here.
It's a tangent.
I don't know how we got here.
Let's just cap it off. I don't know how. At this point, I can't. What were we talking about?
I mean, we could.
How do you see yourself? That's how we started off.
Yeah, that's how we started off.
Let's
rehash it.
We digress.
So
to come back,
okay.
Let's cap it off right here. I'll say this: let's just say how we see it. How I see myself. I see myself in a positive light. I'll say that. I don't really have any negatives from myself that I can think of. I don't really. I guess it's a good thing, but I've never really had a negative thought about myself in that way. It's weird to actually, because I have friends that do have those issues.
What negative thoughts?
Negative thoughts. They have mental issues and all this. I have friends around me, but it's one of those things where it's like I've never had it. I've never had depression where I was like, I hate myself.
Oh, I definitely have.
I have never had it. I've had it stress, but not prolonged. It was because of stress that if I've ever had those thoughts, it's because of stress. It was never prolonged where if I was in a comfortable situation, I was just me being me. I hate myself. I've never had that.
I've had that. Wait, stress. Ooh.
Stress is a different conversation.
This is a topic.
Go ahead.
So, how do you, when under a whole lot of stress, how do you function? What happens?
I just go through it.
Really? What happens?
Power through it.
What happens after?
Nothing? I get over it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Go to sleep. Get over it.
Interesting.
That's just how I get. It's one of those things where it's like I learned early on.
Interesting.
You got to understand my mentality at a young age. I was like, I loved very serious things at a very young age. I loved nature, and nature is not exactly the most nature is nature is the most humbling thing ever. So I learned very early on that Mother Nature can be a cruel thing. This world is very cruel if you don't pay attention. So for me, I always say, it may hurt for a little bit. I try and remember the good times more. You have more good than bad in your life, but you always remember the bad. So I try to look on things better. I'm gonna get over this. It's not gonna be terrible for a long period of time. That's just impossible. That's just my mindset. I don't. Once again, even when I was moody, I was like, I wasn't still in the depths. I was still a bit.
Okay.
So, again, at this point, I'm half glass full. So stress is you deal with it in the moment. You do what you got to do to get through it, and once you're through it, you know what I mean, swat. You know what I mean, wipe the sweat off your brow, take a deep breath, sleep, get over with, and go on with your day. That's just how I handle stress. But I'm more of a power through type of person. You know how I remember when I told you how I deal with grief.
Yeah.
I force grief. I've had people that die. We've talked about this. Mm-hmm. I have to force it because I don't enjoy prolonged agony.
Okay.
So the same way with stress, I sit in it and I force my way through it.
I'm not gonna worry about that.
That was so random.
I don't know where that came from, but that's fine.
Yeah. So when it comes to stress, grief, any negative emotions, I'm not afraid to sit in it, but I'm not gonna stay there long. If that makes sense. I'll deal with that emotion. I'll let myself feel it, but I'm not gonna be here forever, bro. I prefer to be happy.
That's true.
What about you?
Me? Oh, when stressed, I think I can mentally. I think I have the capability to mentally shut down certain functions within myself.
Is that to the detriment of yourself, or is that for you to get through it?
For me to get through it.
Well, that's the same thing as I do. You just got to get through it.
Except I think this is where the difference is. After I have to take that breath of fresh air, where I have
it don't feel good.
I get backlash. Just like that.
It's still like you still
Like
shockwaves. Okay.
I'll accumulate it.
The pressure cooker.
After I'm done and I don't have to be stressed anymore, it hits me like a brick. Like, for example, before I changed my major, constant stress. So over the course of the semester, I'm building up stress until the very end. And then after like I'm done with my finals and everything, I am out for a week. I have migraines. I'm throwing up.
You got it bad.
I'm sick. I'm at some points I'm dead to rights for that week. The week my laptop broke, there was a whole bunch going on that week. It was my power was constantly going out for no reason. I was pretty sure that somebody was like actually messing with my power. Laptop destroyed. TV got destroyed, and I normally use my PS4 as like my outlet for stress. Anyway, so that was both of those were gone, so I couldn't really do anything.
So it's just you by yourself.
Yeah, so I was just like, I literally kept repeating to myself, just make it to Friday. Just make it to Friday, everything will be fine. Make it to Friday, everything will be fine. Make it to Friday.
Made it to Friday, what happened?
I made it to Friday. We had work at 2:30, 3:30 a.m. I could barely get out of my bed to vomit in my toilet. I was out for that whole day. I called off on everything that I was doing that day because I have that morning job and then I have my on-campus job. Yeah. I had to call off for both, and I was just like I physically can't do anything today. I was like, I'm throwing up. I got a migraine. I'm taking stuff for it. It's not going away. You'll hear from me maybe tomorrow. But as far as that's concerned, I'm not.
I don't think I really had those. I can see that sounds horrible.
I get backlash. Yeah.
Well,
and then after that, I'm just like, all right, we're fine.
Stress is a very interesting thing, how people handle it, though. Because I didn't know, because I've heard of it affecting people physically, but I've never seen it that.
Yeah, it'll physically affect.
Mine has always been like, let me go to sleep.
But I also turn off I'll mentally turn off like pain receptors. So like throughout the course of my week, I definitely smash my hand on like a good number of stuff.
I'll tell you this: once you learn how to control that, that's going to be fascinating.
What harness?
If you ever learn how to like
fully, yeah, I think I can. I think I can. In the heat of a moment, I probably can. Because I think what I've been told so far is I can be a very paranoid person. So when I'm clocking down not when I'm clocking down my paranoia, but when I'm like kind of humoring that paranoia of like something that's gonna happen, like something that constantly runs through my mind is one day on the job, some random person's just gonna run in, guns a-blazing, shoot up the place.
To be fair, I think that's a lot of people's stuff.
Really?
I don't think you're alone in that.
Okay.
That's just paranoia.
Shoot the place up.
That's just paranoia by you seen it happen.
I already have a detailed plan of what I do from about 7 to 8 different spots.
Of how to get out of there?
How to get out of there.
That's just being survival.
How to do what I need to do. Because I think also at that point, I definitely, if the opportunity struck, I'm aiming to kill. There is no...
See, I agree. That's not paranoia.
At the point where I'm fearing my life, I know I've had this conversation with my mom because there was a point where when I was working the desk job, I almost got robbed on my way back and my way there. And normally within that work, I always carry a knife to where I'm going because I have to physically walk.
Oh, I have one on me right now.
Yeah, always have a knife on you. Always. Never.
I think a lot of people could do that though.
I never done.
That's just where we're living, unfortunately.
Yeah, but
so I don't think that's paranoia. It's a healthy paranoia.
Healthy, is it?
Yes, it's survival.
I don't think it is.
Survival is healthy paranoia.
I think if it's constantly running through your mind, and
well, if it's constant. Well, what's constant?
I'd say if you have to think about it 3 to 4 times a day.
That's not constant.
No? 3 to 4 times a day within the hour?
Bro.
While you're there.
Bro, I think about getting a gun every day for protection.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, no, just a gun in general, protection. Or are you you're in a specific place doing a specific task?
I'm in America.
That doesn't. Okay, like building specific.
Bro, that's not why I want a gun. I'm in America, and I'm black.
Okay.
That's reason enough.
Okay.
And you know what I mean, and especially the state we live in, that's reason enough to carry a gun.
Okay.
There's protecting yourself should be everyone's number one. Because I'm not leaving this earth without seeing you know what I mean? It's I am not going to allow.
You're not going down without a fight.
I'm taking you with me. Oh. You ain't finna make my mama. Someone else's. You're not. Someone else's mama's gonna cry.
Yeah.
My mom's not gonna be the only one crying.
Oh yeah.
That's for damn sure.
My
family's not the only one gonna be grieving.
I think I'd also maybe make it a point to make it as painful as possible. Because I've had those moments where it's a cold reality where I
prefer efficient. Well, that's different.
Efficient?
That's rage.
Rage?
I want efficiency.
I have rage. I do build up rage.
No, I do the same.
I do build up.
I understand where you're coming from. But when it comes to that, but you don't want to do that because you'll get tired. No. That's where the efficiency comes from.
No. Well, I think you can be efficient and...
Let's get away from this because I see where this is going. Me and you are both thinking the same thing, and I'm trying to cut it off before we take it somewhere that
like the first episode.
Well,
we popped off.
To be fair,
we popped off.
I understand, but I do not regret anything I said.
I mean, I don't either, but
I don't regret it.
I know for a fact that we may have went too far on that one.
Did we though?
I think so.
Did we? Maybe.
A little bit.
Really, I guess. I don't know.
A little bit.
Okay, let's get on to the next. What's the other topics we got here? Let's jump up. I don't really want to talk about the moth things because we talked about it. It's like they hide.
Yeah,
and I saw a moth. And I saw a moth one day on the tree.
Oh, during the day?
Yeah, I saw it on the tree. I was like, oh, there you are. Everything else is semi-serious.
Is it?
Well, for me, let's look at you. I don't really care. My week's pretty dull. There's not much going on. The heat, hot. Plus, it's starting to change.
It's getting better.
It's getting colder, so I'm okay with that. Let's get it. Wedding rates. Ooh.
Wait, what?
I saw this earlier. It was on Reddit. Okay. Yeah. So there's this wedding that was going on, and basically what the bride and groom decided to do was get bundle packages. Depending on how much you paid, depends on what package you get for the reception. So let's say for food. So let's say you paid, I think it was like $1,000, like $1,500 to $2,500. You would get something fancy like lobsters and like foie gras and all that.
Hold on, I already see a problem with this.
You see where I'm going with this. So it's fancy. So basically, you're paying to get your food instead of everybody getting the same type of food.
Wait. Are we talking guests?
Yes, guests.
Oh, so the guests pay money.
The guests pay, and how much money you pay determines what you get. I think they got food. They also got a goblet they can keep.
No.
They got other stuff.
No. Absolutely not.
I will say this.
Absolutely not. No.
It depends.
Do you want to know? You know my.
It
First
depends.
of all, my reasoning.
Is it just my family?
How big of a guest list do we have at this wedding?
That's a good point.
Because that therein lies the problem. Also,
I'm mainly doing this for devil's advocate purposes.
Also, as expensive as it is to have a wedding,
you got to make that money back.
I have no experience and hardly any knowledge.
Let me be devil's advocate.
The one thing I have to say is, all right, you can't have Johnny and Sarah who give you, I don't know,
say
like
500.
500.
And then I only give 100.
And you only give 100, and then Sarah and John give
They get
like
something.
they get
A steak.
they get a nice steak and lobster, and you pay 100, and you get what, fried chicken? Do you know how stupid that would be? No.
Let me be devil's advocate. Let me be devil's advocate for you.
Hell no.
Let me be devil's advocate.
Out of your goddamn mind.
Let me be devil's advocate. I'm paying for the venue. I'm paying for the food. I'm paying for the drinks. I'm paying for the decorations, the tables, the chairs. Then if there's a DJ.
No, you're not. No.
I'm coming from the bridal family.
The bride and the groom.
That's my perspective.
Okay, they are paying for this. Yeah.
Yes. Well, if there's a band, if there's a singer, I mean, most people just get a DJ and just live their lives. But the venue alone probably costs a grip.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to get decorations. It also depends, well, what kind of flowers do you want? Because there's always going to be flowers. Well, we're not going to get plastic, so we're getting fresh flowers, and fresh flowers cost a grip. Okay. This is just the reception. I haven't even gotten to the wedding. So this is just the reception. So this is the tables, the venue, food, drinks, all that. That's just the reception. Now we're getting into the big thing, which is the wedding. So then we have the wedding venue. Let's say there's the wedding venue and the reception are held in the same place. Well, then there's extra chairs because you're not moving chairs from the reception out there. That doesn't make sense. That's not how things go. There's chairs there, decorations, all this, that, and the third. You got to get the dress, the suits. There's a whole slew of things. I'm not planning on ever getting married, so I don't have to worry about these things. Well, let me not say that. I don't want to have a wedding event. I'll go down to the courthouse and get married. Yeah, let's go down to come on. Drive down to the courthouse. You're married. Cool. I don't want a wedding. So from my perspective, that I'm trying to perspective from them, I paid for all this, that, and the third, and all you had to do is show up.
No, fuck that. That ain't happening. No, fuck that. No. Because here's also wedding gifts.
That's what the money is.
No.
You're not gonna give me a gift? I sent you an Amazon wish list and you ain't gonna get nothing on it? You ain't gonna put nothing on this wedding?
No. I will get you a wedding gift. Now, me paying you.
What's the difference?
To decide what.
You giving me $100 and buying something of $100 value is two very different things.
Yeah.
Just give me the money.
No, but that should not decide on
the money. Money has depreciated already.
No. Here's the whole problem with this. In my head, this is where my disconnect. If somebody were to give me like a whole lot of money on my wedding day, cool. But what I'm not about to do is give the money that you're giving me for my wedding is going to determine what you get at my wedding.
Got to make that money back.
Do you know how stupid that sounds?
It's called.
Nobody is coming to your wedding for that.
Let me say something. It's called incentive.
Oh, no.
Incentive. Do you want the fried? Do you want steak and a goblet of the best wine out there, or do you want mac and cheese with some fried chicken? What do you want?
You're not gonna have people coming to your wedding. They will not. They'll mail a card and they'll be like, "Congratulations."
I don't disagree.
On the wedding.
I'm just trying to give it from their perspective, what they may be thinking. I have to make this money back, and because you love me so much, I expect you to give me something in return. I'm not forcing you,
but at the same time, do people really drive themselves to bankruptcy for a wedding?
Oh hell yeah! I would not be surprised. As much as people say they want big weddings, that's why I'm never going to do weddings.
I could not.
Let me find out.
I wouldn't.
Listen.
Okay, I would not be opposed. Actually, no.
Let me ask you a question. I think I already know your answers. Can you separate your financial mind from loving the person you love?
Yes, absolutely.
See, me and you are always in agreement.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day,
this is why we're friends. I hope you know this. Like,
yeah,
we are so like-minded. It's scary.
because I don't think because at the end of the day,
I love you.
I do love.
But I'm still not spending that much money on that. You can kick rocks.
I have to be. Financial stability
is much more important.
Than
love.
Yes. Actually, yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it is.
Unfortunately, that's how it is.
I'm not going bankrupt because of you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially because I wish I would pay some money.
I will spend money on my significant other. Yeah.
You keep talking. I'm gonna look up the average cost of a wedding dress, and I'm gonna get pissed about it.
I will not drive myself to bankruptcy in order to do that. I don't think that should not be something that people look for, because that in itself that's a little bit of a red flag to me. Because if you're how much is a wedding?
$33,900.
Oh, that's cheaper than I thought it'd be.
That's the average.
That's cheaper than I thought it'd be.
Average. This isn't.
That's cheaper than I thought it'd be.
Now.
Do you know how expensive dresses are?
I'm about to look at it.
Very. Surprisingly. A wedding dress? A wedding dress is a...
$1,600.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get the...
Yeah. Yeah.
You can kiss the holy... I wish you would come to me with that. You're not with my money. I bet you're not. She comes... Are you buying it then? Because you ain't... 15. 16.
What you're practically paying for is ceremonial. Ceremonial value.
You ain't even... So you telling me you gonna wear this once?
I mean, they may wear it more than once, but that's behind closed doors. What am I looking at?
The average cost in our state
of a wedding?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm still not paying.
Really?
You can kiss mine.
Really? Oh, that's way cheaper than I thought it'd be.
I just don't care. That's not cheap to me.
I thought it'd be at least $50,000.
Shit. I wish they would. I wish the woman I love would come to me talking about. Oh,
no, but I think it's a conversation.
This is also average.
Again, I expected the average to be about $50,000.
Well, it can get $50,000 depending on the type of woman you get with. Because if she wants to go big, bro, you're looking at
If I have the money to where...
I don't care if I got the money.
I can make it big.
I don't care if I got the money.
If we could go big, if we have the money and we could go big...
You're not listening to me. I don't care if I do got the money. I'm not spending that much money on a one-day kiss. My ass.
I won't make it a one-day thing.
I'm wearing that suit. I want you to know that. Whenever I'm going in that suit, I'm wearing that again.
Yeah.
And I wish someone would look me sideways and be like, didn't you wear that at your wedding? You're damn right I did. Fuck out of here. You gonna wear that goddamn
But also,
dress.
that's why people rent tuxes. Actually, can you rent a wedding dress? That's a dumb question. No.
Probably.
No.
I think you can.
I don't think they'll let you.
Nah, you can. I bet you can. And you won't look. The people around you, if they find out, they're not gonna. Yeah, you can.
I don't think they would care all that
much. People are very judgmental.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. There are a few things that
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places. There's plenty of places where we live.
Okay. Yeah.
You can. I think it's more acceptable for men to rent their tuxes than women renting a wedding dress.
Well, the wedding dress...
How much does it cost to rent a wedding dress?
A wedding dress, I think, holds more sentimental value to them.
Pass it down to my daughter. You got your goddamn...
So
renting a wedding dress is about $100, $200.
Yes,
that's
cheaper than I thought.
Still.
I don't think you understand how overinflated.
I understand
how expensive I thought a wedding could get.
That. But I'm not... No.
I do.
No.
I do. Because also, you're both technically paying for that. Okay. Here's.
How much? No. What's your limit?
Here's my limit.
How much would you pay
on a wedding?
Yeah.
How much am I making?
Let's say you're making $500,000 a year.
$500,000 a year?
Yeah. The budget is gonna go up to probably what? Because taxes cuts that in like close to half, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So you're usually using.
We budget.
I think 50 is fine.
50,000.
I wouldn't do it, but 50,000 for you.
50,000.
For me, it'd be 10.
10,000.
I don't care. I will look her in the eyes.
Damn.
We're
50,000.
I will look her in the eyes and be like,
50,000.
Too low?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, you're trying to get, but I'm gonna enjoy your way.
Hey, I go.
Hey.
Look, if I can, I'm going.
And I'm gonna show up in sweats. Hey.
We'll go all out. Cause
I wouldn't show up in sweats.
No, don't do that. She'll be mad. I guarantee.
She's gonna know me.
Yeah.
She's gonna know me.
I know, but she's still gonna be upset.
I don't care. I don't know your family.
She will be
I'm the
upset.
friend. I'm gonna be lit. Yeah. I'll chant. Okay, I'll dress up, but I'll chant. But once,
maybe 100,000.
I'm wearing 100,000.
100,000.
100,000.
If I make 500,000,
you out your goddamn.
I definitely could see myself doing maybe some.
I don't
small
care
stuff
what
on the
I'm
side.
making. 100,000 for a wedding.
Cause no.
This must be not being here.
Because here's the thing. I'm putting in.
Where is this?
No, I'm putting in.
Location.
I don't know. I'm putting in 50,000. She's putting in 50,000.
Oh.
That's weird. Cause no. Cause here's the thing.
Ooh.
A wedding.
Ooh. Oh my god.
A general wedding.
Oh my god. Okay. Because I thought that was your money. I was gonna say, ooh.
A wedding takes two people.
That's not how it's perceived. I can tell you that right now.
I do not care. A wedding. It takes about two people to have a wedding.
See, now that we're talking like that, I can agree with this.
Because here's also at the same time. Despite us like being together for however long before we get married, our bank accounts are not going to be mixed.
There's gonna be three: hers, mine, and then ours.
Not even that.
Who you talking
about? Ours will be made after we get married. There will be hers.
Depends on how long.
And then there will be mine.
Because if me and her have been together for a good grip, let's say you've been together 7 years, bro. Y'all together.
No, I'm not doing that.
So you're telling me
hers
if you
and mine.
If you're together for 10 years,
hers and mine.
Y'all,
I did not stutter. It'll be her bank account.
Y'all strong. Account. Y'all living together at this point. Y'all got your own stuff together.
I don't think you heard me right.
Y'all been through ups and downs.
I don't think you heard me.
10 years strong.
I don't think you were listening.
Y'all only got two.
I don't think you were listening. There will be her bank account and there will be my bank account.
Oh, you are less romantic than I am. I'll be like, after 7 years, I'll give you.
Only because I also may have slight trust issues based off of.
There's a prenup. There is a prenup.
Definitely.
Now I understand that some people like as soon as you put a prenup in there. First off,
that's not how that works.
That's
also,
not how.
By the way.
First off,
just because I make you sign a prenup does not mean I don't trust you.
Not even that. If you are going to, because you can have a wedding thing without. You can have the ceremony.
Also, you know what the funny thing is? I've heard about this on like a good couple of other like podcasts. There have been like people who separate, and even though they didn't like sign a prenup or anything, they didn't go out of the way to be like, oh hey, you need to give me half. Or if they had like a kid in between them, it'll be like, hey, do you think you could still put our child on
your insurance or something
your
like
insurance
that?
And everything, and just like do that, and the guy would be like, yeah, of course I'll do that too.
Because if you go to the courts,
also spend time like with their kid.
If you go to the court system, because that's the only reason.
If I get a divorce, I'm still taking care of my kid. If I get a divorce, I'm still taking care of my kid. If it's my kid, I'm still taking care of it.
Well, if it's tall, then you'll know.
No, because I think I got my mom's genes.
How's that working out for you?
What?
Shut
up. Shut up.
I'll say this. When it comes to the whole prenup thing, my thing is this. If you're bringing the government into this, I have to now put on my business hat. You know what I mean? Like, we can still have the wedding ceremony without actually bringing the government into this.
Yeah. You can.
We can have the ceremony.
You technically could throw your own wedding.
We can have the ceremony.
Be a party.
We can have the ceremony. We don't have to go to the courthouse. Now, once, because it's not like as soon as you have that wedding ceremony, there's some government agents at the door.
Also, do all weddings have to have like a priest?
If you're religious, yeah.
Okay.
If you're not religious, I guess you just get an officiant. You
Okay.
just say these two people are married. But then, even
I don't
the
know how
concept
that
of marriage and that concept, if you're not religious, marriage doesn't make any sense unless you're just doing it for money purposes and the incentives you get tax wise. That's the only reason. If you're not a religious person,
I forgot there were tax benefits.
If you're not religious, there's no point in having a wedding ceremony. There's no point. Why would you spend money on a wedding ceremony? Because a wedding ceremony is mainly in the context of religion. Whatever religion that is still religion.
Yeah, that's a whole conversation that has to be had. I think a lot of this also has to be like conversations that you have like before you like.
Unfortunately,
you get married.
Most people don't have those conversations.
Unfortunately, not
because they get married within the first couple of years of being with you.
I cannot baffle that.
Getting married.
Did I tell you my like time?
No.
It has to be 5 years at least.
I can agree with that.
At least we have to be
even
together.
Think about that.
We have to stably be together for at least 5 years. On it. If we have to take a break and go on and off,
it starts again.
Times. No, that's not.
It starts again.
No,
we took a break for a week. Nope. The clock is restarted.
The clock restarts. It has to be
because it's a new relationship.
Full 5 years.
It's a new relationship. What are you talking about?
It has to be a full 5 years. We've been together for 5 years.
There hasn't been any significant break.
I'd say year three. We
can have conversations.
We move in together.
Ooh.
Year 3.
I can agree with that.
I think year 1 and year 2, you can live on your own for like the first 2 years and be okay.
Yeah.
Year 3, I think is like the better opportunity
we're taking
to actually
steps.
move in. That's the perfect step to move. In my head, that's the perfect step to move in together. And then 3, 4, and 5 are just like testing everything.
We're trying to get things together.
Because here's something that I guess a whole lot of things aren't taken into account that I've heard about. It's that how you act in public
or in private,
it's totally different. And how you like present your home to somebody and how you actually live your life day to day is also completely different. Like
that's why I'm perfectly being consistent. The way you meet me is the way I am. I don't change up much.
That's a bad idea.
Is there still stuff in it?
Maybe.
Okay. I'll say this.
There's also my straw.
I'll say this. It is very fascinating coming from a perspective of like you are planning to live with this person for the rest of your life. So that could be depending on your age. Let's say right now.
I date with the intention to marry.
Same here. My intention is to be with you for the rest of my life. Marriage does not have to be there, but I intend to be with you the rest of my life. You are going to be my only partner that I have for the rest of my life.
Yeah, if we're together and she then brings up and she's just like, hey, I don't want the whole label of marriage. I'd be like, okay, are we still
going to be together for the rest of our life? That's the question.
Are we like exclusive? How does this work?
Yeah, if we're exclusive, that's all I'm asking.
And I'd be like, okay, cool, got it.
Are we still going to be exclusive with each other? Are we still? Here's the thing: are me and you still going to be together for the rest of our lives? Are you still going to be my partner for the rest of my life? Yes. Cool. Now, if later on she decides I want to get married, well, then we got to take that into the budget.
Well,
the budget has to be.
You sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, because it's one of those things. I'm planning on spending the rest of my life with you. If marriage is involved, okay, it's eventually going to be there. But what we're not going to do is be 2 years in and then be like, oh, let's get married. Excuse you, ma'am. I need to know you for a good minute.
Yeah, 2 years is too soon.
I only know you for 2 years, and you want me to spend the rest of my life with you? I barely know you.
Also, people change.
How long have we known each other? Think about that. Since what, sophomore year? So that's what?
Junior year.
Yeah,
junior year.
Junior year, that's what?
That's when we both went to church.
That's like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 or 5 years. This is, because think about this. When we first met, think about a year after we first met. Do you think we would be this tight of friends after a year?
No.
No, that's not how.
Because I'm also used to having to break it off with people for reasons. Because I think, and even there was like a whole thing, and I don't think I fully explained the situation to my mom, but there was a kid that lived up the street from where we live, and we used to hang out after school and everything. And then on one occasion, he said he outright said, "Hey, my parents don't like you, and they don't really want me hanging out with you." So I was just like, "All right, cool," because I think I've heard this before, and I waited too long to break that off, and when it was broken off, it wasn't my choice and me physically saying, "Hey, all right, we're not hanging out anymore."
Yeah.
That time, I immediately cut that line off and haven't seen the person since.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But it's weird how friendship and relationships are treated differently by some people. Like you would.
You don't. Okay, you don't. I would like to be friends with my partner, but you do not have to be friends with your partner.
I'll push back on that.
Really?
They should be, because you can't be in a relationship with an associate.
That's true.
You have to be friends with your partner. You have to be
friends to an there's a certain extent into which that
you can have common agreements. Okay. Now, for me, I would love to be friends with. I don't expect to be like best friends. There's the difference.
That's what I mean. I think that's more.
You can be friends with a person that you love.
Yes.
But the relationship you have with your wife or whoever, because we're both straight, so I'll say wife. Whatever your partner is, you can still be friends with. You can still have fun with your partner, but it's different because your life is intertwined with theirs in a way that it's not with your best friend. Like your best friend, you can be more relaxed with your best friend. You don't have to have serious conversations as much as like the person you're living with. Because if y'all live together, well, this bill's got to be paid. This bill's got to be paid. What are we gonna eat? Food, all this. There's a bunch of different factors.
And I think some serious conversations are also like make or break in a relationship.
Yes.
Which kind of sucks, but it is.
Yes,
I can see why.
For example, yeah. Like who's gonna put the condom?
Oh my god.
Ooh. That's a serious conversation,
what?
No? That's a serious conversation.
Is it?
Sometimes.
Is it?
I mean, when do you have that conversation? Like, do we still use it?
Oh well, shit.
That's a good question.
Oh, I know. Well,
because you don't want. I mean, you don't.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Actually, are you all trying to have kids?
No.
That answers your question.
So you are going to be 5. You know what? I can agree with you on that. I'm not raising the baby.
I would like 2 kids, and I'd like them to be relatively close to each other in age.
I want to adopt.
So they either can kind of get along.
Adopt.
I know me and my brother are not the perfect example of this, but we get along now. But I would like something like that. That would be great.
Just adopt.
No.
Why not? Wait, what are you talking about?
No.
Wait, so you say eventually you would want kids?
Yeah, eventually I want kids. I know out the gate after marriage, hell no.
I would rather
you give that 2, 3, 4 years.
I can honestly say I am
4 years into marriage.
If I ever do want a kid, I'll just adopt
maybe we
a kid.
can have kids. Actually, no. Money. It depends on how much money we have.
I don't care
whether we can have kids.
That too.
Kids are expensive.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Kids are expensive.
I would just adopt a kid, to be fair with you, because it's the one to that early stage. I may hate the child, and I'm very petty, so I don't know if I'm ever gonna let that go. It's like the one time you know the whole thing of like, I raised you. How dare you? I'm like, I'm gonna be like, excuse you? No. I know myself. I can't do it.
I could. I'll get myself through that. Because then I'll just be petty for when they have kids. That's where all of that is going.
But
nah, I'm gonna be petty.
If you 5 years, no, I'm talking about the original spark of it. But if you 5 years, I don't know if you want to keep using it though.
That's a whole conversation.
Because what happens when you don't use it and then you're like,
Because
I'm just assuming.
If she's willing, she can be on birth control or take the morning after pills.
And to be fair, I don't want kids, so I may just snip myself and have that. There's that.
You could do that.
Because that's reversible.
Or you could wear condoms. You could also pull out. Or
how does that doesn't seem like it ever really works. Because anytime I've ever heard they have kids.
I don't know what to say. And something that I think also should maybe be like an actual thing. Male birth control.
They try.
Did they?
They were trying.
Trying. That means they stopped.
The only thing that ever is condoms. That's the only thing. I mean, the condoms have spermicide in them, so that's the main thing. Other than that, women have IEDs, the pill. Yeah. I mean, another birth control is literally just not getting our tubes tied, but getting a vasectomy. That's another birth control.
Yeah, it's a method of birth control. You can still apparently have kids.
Yeah, you can.
After vasectomy.
That's some strong sperm, though.
Yeah.
Strong genes. Yeah. Strong genes. Nah, but we'll let's cap it off saying this. The wedding rates thing is stupid. I was just talking about it from their perspective, just to have another voice.
Yeah,
I would never do that.
Yeah.
But if I did, it would be because I don't care about y'all like that.
Damn. Oh,
that's the only reason. That's the only reason I would ever do that. The hell is water pressure?
Oh, so something that has been.
Are you really about to talk about water pressure?
Yes, I am.
Oh my god.
Because I think this inherently bothers me, because there is no reason for a factory or any other workplace to have a terrible amount of water pressure.
Oh, it's low. I thought I've had places that it's high.
A lot of the places that I've worked, the water pressure is abnormally low. To the point where if you try to wash your hands, it's literally like a small amount of drops coming onto your hand, and
that's horrible.
That's not a way to wash your hands.
I think there's something wrong with that plumbing. I don't know if that's pressure. I think that's just terrible plumbing.
Either way,
plumbing is a very fascinating thing.
Either way, it's inexcusable. In my mind.
It's a very short topic.
Yeah,
I guess sucks.
Yeah. When I first came up with this, it was more of me ranting.
You made that in the heat of the moment. I can tell.
I was pissed because
I'm like, I don't care.
I actively avoid going to the restroom at my job, but when I have to, I got to. And they started this new rule and I don't have any clear or mesh bags. They don't want people bringing backpacks into our workplace anymore. They also don't want us bringing our phones in either, which, in my mind, it's kind of stupid. Yeah. I can see them wanting us to be more productive and everything, but if the vast majority of people are not on their phones, they're more of listening to music and everything as they work, and it is not like we are working in customer service to where we have to interact with other people. We are factory workers who work delivery. We are stacking boxes and doing that. Yeah. I feel like if we're expected to be on the clock at 1:30 a.m., 2:30 a.m., 3:30 a.m. to about 8:30ish, 9, 10 a.m. I think it is within reason that we should be allowed to listen to music throughout that entire time. Yeah. And also, you have no goddamn right to hang a sign in the bathroom to ask your employees to, while it is very important to wash their hands.
And there's no water pressure.
But if the water is coming out like rain drizzling down on you, there is no point in washing your hands. That is a 30-minute process. I guarantee.
Well, if you cup it a little bit, make it a little.
That won't help either. It's barely coming down.
Well,
you can't.
That's your mess up. Your hand position. That's you got it. You know what I mean? You're doing this.
But at this point,
you gotta go like this.
No. But at this point, your hand is now touching the inside of the sink.
How small is this sink?
Extremely small, for no reason at all. It's stupid. Look.
Let's go.
It's stupid.
You just don't just say this is trash.
It's dumb.
It's stupid.
It's really dumb.
Yeah. What else do we got here? I think we already did the definition of marriage thing, which we kind of explained when we were talking.
Well,
about
that
it.
was in the last podcast, but that shit's gone too.
I don't really care about neighbors.
Really? Dang. I think our neighbors are a little bit nosy. The first week they moved in, I think my mom was doing some work in the house, and one of the neighbors was like, "Oh, really? That's so cool. I'd love to come and see how it turns out and everything." And my mom was like, "Oh, yeah, no, I don't think so," but politely, and was just like, "Yeah, sure, maybe after we get our basement done." Newsflash: that basement, it's never getting finished.
Oh, is it still the same way?
I mean, there's like a couple. We added like a couple doors. There's a screen now. There's some walls. We're working on the electricity. The lights work. But essentially, that basement's never actually going to be to the point where it's finished.
Yeah. Well, let's cap it off with the Watch Dogs one. Could a Watch Dogs video game, could the Watch Dogs like scenario happen in real life?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which Watch Dogs? Legion?
I was thinking more of 2. I don't think anything in Legions. I don't think that could ever actually happen. Really? A private military group coming in and controlling.
To be fair, there's already countries that have their own militaries controlling anyways.
But on top of having like parliament and everything like that,
I wouldn't put it past it.
I don't think it could.
I could see it happening.
No.
But
Absolutely not.
It would have to be It would have to be a perfect storm.
Legions could not happen.
Legions couldn't, but I could see the Bloom thing.
Watch Dogs 2, that could be happening. That actually could be happening right now.
You ain't wrong. Because you got a lot of power players. You got Google doing their own thing.
Susan, we're just playing.
Who's Susan?
Susan owns YouTube.
Oh yeah, Google has
Yeah.
have YouTube. But I like Google though.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking negative.
Don't worry, Susan. We're not talking bad.
No, I like
Google.
or anything. No, I legit like Google.
Yeah.
If
Google is insanely useful.
If there's any group that I'm okay with taking over, Google, I'm okay with taking over. Because at least they act like they care. They do some things.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
trust
take that.
Apple don't care much about.
I'll take that.
Apple doesn't really do. I mean, they do have.
Wait a minute. Does YouTube fall under Google?
Yeah. It's a separate division, but they own it.
Okay. Yeah.
I like Google.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, you have Amazon, but they're more of a shipping company, so it's not really like Google's getting into like phones and all of that. Amazon's kind of like we just ship things.
Does Amazon care about people though?
Do people care what people? You know what I mean?
Do people care about people?
Yeah.
To an extent.
Because you wouldn't be ordering on a fast pass if you cared.
Well, that's more of you just wanting your shit.
Yeah, but do you know what it takes to get that though?
Do you care?
Yeah. Do people care?
No.
Okay. Watch.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
It's like if you have Prime, you don't care.
Yeah.
That's just like you can't tell me that you care if you use Prime. You're talking about I want this in 2 to 3 days. Where is it? It's in California. Bring it to me here in 2 to 3 days. Okay.
Just like a day drive.
Think about how much people don't understand. I think how much infrastructure it takes to get something from one state to another. To you.
A lot.
In only a couple days. You don't, because someone's going to have to hit the grindstone, bro. Someone's going to have to lose some sleep.
That someone is me. That someone also has like a bone to pick with a lot of places right now.
Only right now, though.
Oh no, it's gonna get worse come fall. But
No.
at the moment.
No, I'm talking about if you didn't have that job. Let's say you get your dream job and you're not working in there anymore.
I don't give a
Exactly.
I don't give a
Me
fuck.
and you are in agreement.
Not
it's
my
only
problem.
when you're working there. That's why I don't have Prime.
Now for
I'll
those
wait a week or so. I will say this though. I don't really order a lot of big things, to be fair. The biggest thing I did order was my TV. That was probably the biggest thing, and that came in a truck.
Where did you order it from?
I think it was just from Samsung. Directly.
Directly?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
I mean, it went via Amazon, but it was like from Samsung. No, but I will say this:
Oh wait, actually then
it probably didn't come through you, cause
it did. I guarantee you it did.
Are you sure?
Positive.
You specifically, or someone?
No, me specifically.
No,
me specifically. I've learned that if I order something off of Amazon, it comes through me. Like I'll see the box,
and you'll see your name.
I won't see my name. So
But
what they do is it goes to another plant
Mm.
right after. So I'll get it, scan it in, stage it on my.
Yeah. Well,
On
I will
my
say
truck.
this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Good talk.
About stuff.
Good
I'm just
talk.
saying, when it comes to, there's certain things that I think people don't really care about, and someone's gonna lose out. That's just how America works.
That's how that works. Yeah.
Again, we are a capitalist society. I'm okay with it. I just don't like people acting like they have some sort of moral obligation. No, you don't. You don't act like you care. That's all I don't.
I don't care until it is extremely late or it seems like they lost what I ordered. That's where I have a problem. That's literally where I have.
You
a
get
problem.
pissed because it's like I want you to be efficient.
I
Be
just need you to
more
be on
efficient.
time. I'll give you like a good 1 to 2 day.
Oh yeah. If you don't give me any,
if I don't see anything,
get
I don't
messed-
hear anything. Like
sometimes I get my stuff early, and I'm like, hey.
I know there have been times where I've ordered something and it says, I know it's here, but it stays here
For a minute.
for like a couple days, and I'm just like, why don't you just
Here's
bring it
an
to me?
interesting thing. What is your opinion on PO boxes? This will be the last thing, and then we're gonna leave out of here. What is your
What's a PO box?
like? You have your own little thing at like at a mailing place, and you open up a PO box, and you can get everything you can get your mail shipped there instead of getting it shipped to maybe your house, and you just go over there.
Oh, I'm perfectly okay with that because if I order stuff, whenever I order something for it
How
to
much
come
is a PO
here,
box?
I get stressed. I get stressed out because I always hear about random people just like stealing your packages without even knowing what's in them, which is something I can't even fathom. But that's something that's like constantly on my mind to worry about. So if I could get something and get that delivered to a PO box, I'd be pretty happy. I'd be okay with that. Get my stuff delivered to a PO box so I don't have to worry whether it comes in or not. Sign me up.
How much is a PO box?
I know My little brother has a P.O. box at his college.
Okay, so there's different sizes.
P.O. boxes?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't know if this is feet or inches though.
Probably inches.
If it's two dashes, does that mean it's inches?
Let me see. P.O. box?
Yeah. These are the sizes up top.
I think this is in feet.
Oh, this is in feet?
No, it's in inches.
Oh, I was gonna say this is in feet.
That's inches. Yeah, that's inches.
Okay.
But that's kind of weird. I've never heard of a P.O. box like that. I feel like it'd be in feet, but hey. Ooh, or get it shipped to a store. If you have like a storing crate, get it shipped there. That'd be cool. You know, it'd be a cool idea. You know the giant
storage? Is that what you're talking about?
I guess crates that you would see on like ships. If you just convert that to a storage area, get your package shipped there. You have a little room and everything set up in their living spot. That'd be cool. That'd be perfect. I feel like those are, I think, also actual like homes too.
Tiny homes, tiny homes.
But I think they'd be pretty efficient. I mean, you don't have a bathroom, but you'd have a nice bedroom set up. You could have a living room a little bit. It'd be pretty nice.
I'm just looking at P.O. boxes right now. We can sign off at any point.
Oh, all right. Well,
it's not giving me inches or feet. It's just.
I'm pretty sure it's in inches. Well, this has been just a tangent.
Oh yeah, they don't have our tags either.
2.0.
Do you still want to go by your unnamed nonsense?
Didn't you give me one?
I gave up because I was going to give you one news, but I gave up. I was like, I don't care anymore.
No, I think you gave me one. You called me humble.
Humble?
Yeah, that's what
when
you
did
said.
I call you humble?
I don't know.
I don't think I called you humble.
I think that's what
that
you
doesn't
said.
sound like me. I think you're just saying that so you can get a good nickname. Because I know for sure I would not give you a good nickname.
No, that's what you said.
Are you sure?
I think so.
I don't care anymore. It's not your nickname.
I don't have a nickname.
I'll think of one.
Yeah.
And I'll bring it up to you. But my nickname has always been Mood because I am one. I am a mood. Can't stop it. Can't stop. Won't stop.
I'll just be me.